Hi, this is Boyd. This is my debut on YouTube. This video is about getting Lyme's disease. And here's one of my cats. She wants my attention because she thinks I'm talking to her and not to the camera. I will start with was born in 1966, and I was diagnosed with having stomach ulcers in second grade. I was performing poorly in school, and I started going to the doctor and started taking treatments for ulcers. I think those were cleared up by the end of third grade, but the doctor said that the x-rays of my stomach were scar overlapping over scar overlapping over scar, kind of like the surface of the moon. It's covered with pock marks on it from being hit by rocks and asteroids. But so my stomach was certainly had ulcers, and he said that he thought I had stomach ulcers when I was born, which is not good. One of my biggest mistakes I have made is I have not been much of a water drinker. I hated the annoying sensation of needing to urinate every 20 minutes or so, and I think that's been a culprit in my health problems for many, many years. I grew up on a farm until I was 14. My parents had a large dairy farm that they sold after they divorced, and that was the farm was sold in 1981. My mom bought a house in a city, and I started mowing lawns in the summer of 1982. And I've mowed lawns either for neighbors or as a lawn service most years since 1982. I had a lot of trouble with my back being very stiff, my shoulders being stiff, my shoulders being down here like this all the time, and it was just so common that I didn't know anything different than that. When my brother and I visited Australia in 1985, we met this young lady, and she visited with my brother and I at my dad's farm that he had there, and she gave me a shoulder massage, and she said, "Boyd, your muscles are very, very stiff." And she gave a good massage, but there was something she noted that just stood out. But I think I contracted Lyme's disease sometime in the late 80s. I was mowing lawns in Rochester, Minnesota at the time, or through many years through the 80s. I started getting headaches that were almost constant. I started having reactions to honey, then cornstarch or corn syrup solids. Not that the American diet is the greatest diet. There's a lot of garbage in our food. In 1992, I came up to St. Paul and got tested at a natural medicine specialist that my aunt referred me to, and they had me sit on a wooden chair, take all the metal off my body, take my shoes and socks off, and they had me hold a brass little brass round thing in my palm after they wetted it down and started touching different points on my feet. And after the test, she gave me a list of foods. She said, here, stay away from these foods. And I thought the food list was kind of goofy. Let me dig it out here. Here's the list of foods. Wait, that's not the right list. I get the list here somewhere. Please bear with me. I know I got it in this billfold somewhere. Yep, there it is. Albumin, which is the white part of egg yolk, and other white food ingredients, I think like soy. And then there's apple, apricot, avocado, banana. I love bananas. Red beans, beets, beet sugar, blackberry, blueberry. I love blueberries. Boysenberry, cabbage, carrot, cashews, cherry, cinnamon. And then I added to my list, I try and avoid, I don't eat corn on the cob. I have trouble with that. Corn syrup's really not good for anybody. Crab meat is on the list. Cranberry, eggplant, fig. I love figs. Red or green grapes. I love grapes. I love honey. Honey is on the list. Mustard. Green olives, ripe olives. Well, ripe olives are black. Onions. I hate onions. Papaya. I don't eat papaya very often. Black-eyed peas, green peas, peach. I like peaches. Pears. I hate pears. Plum. Potatoes. Oh, there's a lot of potato in the American diet. Quince. I have no idea what that is. Radish. I don't like radish. I love raisins. Oh, I love raisins. I grew up eating raisins. I just loved them. You just didn't want to be in the same room as I was. Rhubarb and soy. Strawberry. Oh, I just ripped the list in half. Turnip, walnut, watermelon. And but that's my list. But that was a list of foods that they gave me to avoid. And at the time, I kind of thought it was like a voodoo kind of goofy medicine, and I kept the list and I didn't think much of it. But referring back to my list, and I made some bad choices. I started getting stressed out, and I found that having a fan blowing over my head as I slept helped me to sleep a lot better, because my sleeping was too shallow because of the stress and because of other health problems. My chest muscles and my muscles, just all the upper body muscles were tight, and I wasn't breathing fully and freely. And having a fan blowing over my head helped a lot. In 1997, I started having trouble with my eyes. I was seeing, it felt like I was looking at something, and one eye was seeing the item at one distance, and the other eye was seeing whatever the same object was at a different distance. I felt like I was looking through 3D glasses. I got my eyes checked, and the doctor said, your eyes are almost perfect. And he said, you must be having some allergic reaction to something. There's something in your environment or foods or something you're having trouble with. And then I referred back to this food list, because I was desperate to try anything, because I had to start wearing glasses. And I started avoiding the foods on this list. I love apples. And after that, My upper body muscles lightened up. My eyes got better. I didn't have to wear glasses anymore. I also had been dealing with earwax buildup to the point where my ear passages would clear up, and I'd get this crackling sound that I would hear when I would open up my jaw like that. And with the change in my diet, getting away from those foods, a whole bunch of things got better all at once. My ear problems cleared up, my eyes, my neck that often was stiff was better, my back, my chest, I was breathing better, I had more energy, I wasn't tired all the time, and but I got very bored with eating a lot less variety of food. I also had problems with dizzy spells in the 90s. I had depression at times that was severe, and my mom referred me to her doctor in 2005, a very brilliant doctor who is a regular medical doctor, but he's a thinking outside of the box doctor. He will tell you when some kind of medicine is not really a good one to take. He'll tell you where there's BS in the field of medicine, where other doctors will lie to you, and he'll tell you where there's BS in natural medicine, which he has dabbled in. If anyone asks, I am not telling who my doctor is. I'm not going to go blabber that all over the world. He doesn't want his name spread around. But he started telling me get away from processed wheat, consume wheat that is sprouted and flourless. He also told me to get away from sugar. I was diagnosed as hypoglycemic. I don't remember if I just said that in the last few minutes or so. But still, after many visits, I just wasn't feeling the greatest. I think the last visit to this doctor, of many visits to him, was about 2007 or 2008, and still not really feeling better, and in some ways feeling worse. Summer of 2012, I thought, well, it's time to go look into this some more, because I think there's something else wrong with me. So I saw my doctor December of 2012, and he said, Boyd, I think you have Lyme's. And so we did another round of tests, and we did the basic test for Lyme's disease, and there's two parts of it where it's scored on a numeric basis, and one part of the test was just a couple of points above positive. The other part of the test was just a couple of points below positive. So I literally was about 1 percentage point short of being diagnosed with Lyme's disease in the first test. And so we did the blood draw for the second test. The second test cost about $1,200 or $1,300. They take your blood, they put it in a culture, and they wait for it to grow. And my blood started all by itself to grow at the very end of, I think it's a 16-week test. And that's an indication of Lyme's disease living in my bloodstream. But with the food sensitivity, I I think the Lyme's disease, when it entered my body, went after my digestive system. My doctor thinks that I've had Lyme's disease 15 to 20 years or maybe longer. I think I got it in the late 80s. But I can't be really sure. I don't remember ever getting a wound from a bite. I don't remember seeing a tick. The deer tick is very, very small. A deer tick is, about the size of the end of a big pan, about that big. And I had heard stories over the years from people who had gotten Lyme's disease, and a couple times thought, boy, that might be what I have. But I've known since June of this year. But I basically have been having health problems since the early 90s. I come from a family of workaholics. Every single member of my family has been self-employed at one time or another. I've wanted to have a manufacturing business. I have ideas for items I would love to patent. Nothing big, nothing that's going to change the world or make me a billionaire, but Lyme's disease has had a huge effect on my health. I live with my mother, and I have a part-time job, and the physical demands are very light in this job that I do. I can't have a job where I have high physical demands. Please excuse me. I ate food about 8 o'clock, and I had probably about 8 or 10 ounces of tilapia fish, and I was extremely tired after eating that meal along with my rice and beans. I basically eat long grain rice with some spices mixed in, and green beans, and then I eat meat. I love beef, I love chicken, I love fish, but if I don't want any side effects from foods that I react to on this list, I basically eat beans and rice every day, and a fried egg yolk on a sprouted and flourless slice of bread. But if you don't know much about Lyme's disease, nature did not come up with Lyme's disease. I'm not going to get deep into the political part of it, but Google Lyme's disease. Read more and more and more about it. Look for other videos on YouTube about Lyme's disease, and you will be surprised as to where it comes from. Jesse Ventura, the former governor of Minnesota, had his TV show called Conspiracy Theory, and he had an episode where he tried to get onto Plum Island, and the government kept him from going even close to that island. So just Google Lyme's disease, Plum Island, and you'll be surprised to see what you find. But yeah, I'm 47 years old. I've never married. I think these health problems have affected my ability to find a wife to get married. It's a nasty disease to have. Behind me here is my train layout. I'm sitting on my bed. I have a Lionel train layout of my bedroom here. I took part of the layout apart in 2005, and I haven't finished modifying it. But yeah, I've had plans of restarting my lawn service. but I just haven't felt good enough, and I started taking antibiotics for to treat this Lyme's disease in the summer of 2013, and I started to have a rare reaction to the pills where I felt kind of like I was drunk, but I didn't have the happy buzz from it. And I had to stop taking the pills because I was just sick to my stomach and nauseous, and I couldn't drive while I was on these pills. So I don't have any cash reserves. I don't have any savings. I haven't made much money in the last 20 years, as I've been living with my mom. And so this summer I started scrapping one of my pickup trucks. I sold another pickup truck in November. I've been selling off a lot of possessions. I have other lawn equipment left over from my lawn service that I'm selling so I can have some money to pay my bills while I try to take the antibiotics again, so I can get treated for Lyme's disease. But my doctor, he said it would take 18 to 24 months to fully treat the Lyme's disease, to kill it off. But he thinks the reaction I had to the pills is called a Herxheimer response. That's where there's a die-off of the Lyme's bacteria, and the liver gets overwhelmed with it, and thus I get tired. But please excuse me for kind of rambling on in parts of my video, but I think that's about all I can think of for my list. But Lyme's disease is just, you don't want to get this disease. It's terrible. I often bring it up with people that I talk to. Well, I don't bring it up, of course, to just strangers out on the street, but most of the time when I mention I have Lyme's disease to someone, they says, "Oh yeah, my sister got it, or my neighbor got it, or my uncle got it." Once in a while I talk to someone and they ask, "Well, what's Lyme's disease?" But most people around here know somebody that has Lyme's disease. I live in a suburb of the Minneapolis-St. Paul area, and if you look up Lyme's disease on a map, the Twin Cities areas is one of the hot spots for Lyme's disease. But I even talked to one guy this last summer. I sold I think a mower deck to him, and he had a friend that was in his 50s or 60s and had been having health problems for a long time, and his friend passed away, and they did an autopsy on the guy after he died, and it turns up he had Lyme's disease, and the doctors said that it was the Lyme's disease that killed him. So, but anyway, if you don't know much about Lyme's disease, this issue needs to be made more aware of by the public. Our government, our politicians need to hear from us. Like I've said so many times in this video, it's a terrible disease to get. You don't want this disease. I've seen other videos on YouTube where there was a young lady that it attacked her spine. She couldn't walk.